All right, a lot of people this morning when the 49ers made that blockbuster signing of Javon Hargrave were wondering how the hell they fit it under their salary cap, because I told you guys last night that the 49ers only had about $4 million in 2023 space, and they signed Hargrave to the same exact terms, at least year-wise and monetary-wise, as DeForest Buckner when he left the 49ers via that trade in 2021. 4 years, $84 million. Poetic that it's the same terms as the DeForest Buckner deal, but that's $21 million per year. So if it's averaging $21 million per year, how did the 49ers come close to fitting it into about $4 million of salary cap space? Now, quick asterisk, they don't have to be under the cap today. The new league year doesn't start, and this contract with Hargrave can't be finalized until Wednesday. So that's when the 49ers officially have to be under the cap. So they were allowed to bleed over the cap, but they still couldn't bleed over that by that much, because otherwise they'd be in a tough restructuring position before Wednesday. But Hargrave's 2023 cap hit is only $6.6 million. Again, $21 million per year average, but they kept this 2023 hit at $6.6 million. So how did they do that? Well, here's how the salary cap works in the NFL. You can stretch out, amortize the salary cap hit over a maximum of 5 years through the signing bonus. So anything that's a signing bonus gets stretched out. Anything that's base salary counts against this season. So this is kind of funny. The 49ers gave Javon Hargrave on an $84 million deal. They're paying him the veteran minimum base salary this year, and that veteran minimum is $1.17 million. So that $1.17 million, which is as low as the 49ers can go, is the base salary this year. And then they gave him a $23 million signing bonus. And they stretched that out over 5 years. Now, you might ask me, how are they stretching it out over 5 years? It's only a 4-year deal. Well, they added ghost years to the end of the deal, voidable years, to stretch it out a maximum 5 years. On top of that, Parag Marathe, who obviously is a guru with his cap stuff, next year he's coming in with an option bonus that's going to trigger and be stretched out another 5 years, all the way to 2028. But you don't have to worry about that until next season's cap. The point is that this season's cap, with the $1.17 million veteran base minimum plus the prorated signing bonus plus $850,000 in total bonuses, it adds up to $6.6 million. So if we're going to illustrate that, let's put this on the Build Your Roster spreadsheet. You know, we had Javon Hargrave at $20 million here, and you know, I don't think we were all too wrong as far as his annual average value. But once you change this cap hit to a lot less than $20 million, you're going to have a lot more room if you're the 49ers. So let's go ahead and just go to the salary cap sheet where I've already done this work. This is all available to you for free on Google. You can see I put in $6.62 million for Javon Hargrave right there in that cell. So I have the 49ers at negative $2.6 million. So they're above the cap right now by $2.6 million. But it looks a whole lot better than if the hit were $20 million, and they're way above the cap there at $12.6 million. The sheets are both a little bit different, by the way. That's why the numbers don't add up exactly with that Javon Hargrave difference. But anyway, the main point is the 49ers now have 52 players under contract. And with that, with those 52 players under contract, they've hit the top 51 rule. That means only the top 51 highest salaries count against the salary cap in the offseason. So you're going to see what we call displacement the rest of the way. They still have a lot of players to sign, but every single player that signs is only going to find his way into the top 51 if he displaces the cheapest contract in the top 51, which means that it's going to be subsequent. It's going to be cheaper for the 49ers at this point to fill out their roster thanks to that rule. Then when the regular season starts, they're going to have to figure stuff out against the 53-man roster. And that's what this Build Your Roster sheet is all about. But you're going to get to adjust Hargrave's number down to $6.6 million. I still have to make that edit. Now, to be able to fit players with restructures, because obviously they're going to need to do something like that anyway, you can look at Christian McCaffrey's deal, restructure him, convert base salary into signing bonus, prorate that. That will open up some room. Nick Bosa's extension will actually open up short-term room for the 49ers because it's going to stretch some money out. I'm doing this all on the sheet right now, which is why you should check out the roster builder. And Charvarius Ward, well, they can restructure him. And boom, even with Hargrave at $20 million, which he's not at $20 million, you would have room as the 49ers. So they're going to restructure somebody. Last season, they ran a couple restructures on this Tuesday. So tomorrow's Tuesday. They ran a couple restructures last season on Tuesday to be able to fit Jimmy Garoppolo. on the new league year roster. And those were Armstead and George Kittle. Eric Armstead and George Kittle, they both converted base salary to signing bonus, prorated it. This year, the 49ers probably going to have to run a similar maneuver because they only had $4 million opening up Monday. So we'll see what they do on Tuesday as far as restructures go. As you can probably anticipate, you know that I'm going to write all about it, and I'm going to try to explain it to you as well as possible. But basically, financial wizardry from Parag Marathe took an $84 million contract, $21 million annually for Javon Hargrave, and really condensed that to $6.6 million in cap impact this season. And this contract, there are essentially 2 years of guarantees here. 49ers will be on the hook for quite a bit of dead money, though, in year 3, just because that signing bonus, $23 million, pro rates, option bonus, another $6 million. That's $29 million of bonus money. You want them to play out all 4 years. And the 49ers, I think, believe that there's a good chance that's going to happen with how well Hargrave has played, especially lately, 22 sacks in 2 seasons. This is a top-tier edge rusher. You say same deal as DeForest Buckner, 4 for 84, but he's a better pass rusher than DeForest Buckner. Buckner was a good pass rusher. Javon Hargrave is an elite pass rusher. So the 49ers might be better than they were in 2019 up front. They don't have D Ford, though. You might need another piece on that defensive end. But Hargrave combined with Bosa is going to make everybody better along that defensive front. That's how the 49ers are going to have to do things. Oh, Hargrave updated on over the cap. Why don't we pop this open on the screen? This is good information for us right now. So I'll pop this sucker right up here, and we will get to see the actual contract language today. Yeah, I got the cap hit right. My calculations were correct. I reverse engineered this sucker, and I guess I calculated the 6.6 million. Well, look, 6.6 million. I'm not that bad at math. So that's good because I'm a lot better at writing than math. So we can look through Hargrave's contract now. As I said, base salary minimum in the first year, $4.6 million proration, total of $750,000 in per game roster bonus money. And I'm sure that a lot of you, and myself included, would want this contract. They're going to pay Javon Hargrave $100,000 to work out this year. They're also going to pay him $100,000 to work out next year. They're also going to pay him $100,000 to work out in 2025. And they're also going to pay him $100,000 to work out in 2026. So this guy's going to make $400,000 over the next 4 years just to work out. Sounds like a nice deal from the 49ers. He has guaranteed salary, $11 million, fully guaranteed at signing, plus the signing bonus, which is $29 million, plus that's the signing plus options. So $40 million fully guaranteed at signing. Cap numbers, $6.6 million, $15.5 million, shoots up to $26.5 million in 2025, $28.3 million in 2026. And these 2 years right here, these are void years where you prorate that option bonus. So the cap hit gets really, really big in 25 and 26, where the dead money would be $18 million and then $12.8 million there at the very end because of the void years. So the first couple of years, you can't cut Javon Hargrave. It cost you $33.4 million more to cut him than it would be to keep him this year. Obviously not going to do that. It cost you $17.9 million more to cut him than to keep him in 2024. You could finally start saving some money, about $8 million in 2025. But the goal, so you don't have to eat an $18.6 million dead cap hit, is to keep him. And based on the play, I think the 49ers are confident in that happening. Now, the big overarching key to remember is the salary cap is growing from year to year. NFL just signed the deal with Amazon and YouTube TV, and that's all expected to bring in more and more revenue. The salary cap is going to be tied to league revenue, and it's as it rises, it's like a wave. You're a surfer, you try to surf that wave, stay ahead of it, push the money into the future. So far, the 49ers have done a really sustainable job of just that. The Rams didn't do a very sustainable job of just that, and they're having to cut players left and right. They had to cut Leonard Floyd. They had to cut Bobby Wagner. They had to trade Jalen Ramsey to who knows where. They trade him, not to Jacksonville, right? They trade him to Miami. Yeah, they traded Jalen Ramsey to the other side of the country. So, I mean, it's a situation where the Rams did not stay ahead of the wave. The wave kind of engulfed them. The 49ers have to surf and stay ahead of the wave. And so far, they've showed enough financial restraint, enough prudence, and this Javon Hargrave deal, keeping the cap hit at $6.6 million this year on the $15.5 million next year, can do that. All right. Hope that makes sense. Hope you understand. 49ers saving some money. They can still do some more work and expect some contract restructures to come so they can do that work moving on into this busy week. Thank you. Have fun. Talk to you soon. Talk to you tonight. You better tune in. Like and subscribe. We'll see you then.